Another day, another dollar. Where am I? Okay. Testing, testing one, two, testing one and two. Hmm. Let me go ahead and over here and edit. Let's go right there. Market analysis. Tags. Okay, okay. That should do it. All right, so we got a couple of stocks up today. Starting with ICCT is looking like it's going to be the biggest mover coming out of pre-market, up 54% with 8 million shares traded on it. Behind that, we have X, which I don't know why I thought this was Twitter when I saw X, but it was not Twitter. It's a steel company or whatnot. We have ARQT up 27%. Then behind that, FCell was up for like a couple of seconds, but kind of going back down. We'll see how it competes with the other three. But those are our top movers for right now. Other things that are coming up, we see oil, this CL here up to 73. It went down to 68-ish, 67-ish, came back up. Good morning, GD. The TQQ, we'll look at those. We'll look at those afterwards. Let's go ahead and pop over to ICCT and see why it's moving. So ICCT news, they're asking why is it moving up 25%? They don't even know. Okay, let's go over here and look at the charts. So we can see on the monthly chart, big beat down from about $20 all the way down here to $1.70. This will be the first day that it's breaking new highs on the monthly. So that could be, you know, technical catalyst that we're seeing there. We zoom down into the weekly. Let's see if there's any points back here that were traded around. What's this back here? 198. Well, we'll take that into consideration. That $2 mark right there from way back in 2020. That's looking like the only thing I can see on the weekly. Let's zoom on into the daily. So on the daily, it looks like there was a little bit of gap here from the 240s that is getting tested right again. 240s down here to the 230s that is around. Let's zoom in some more to the 4-hour. And we can see there's definitely some type of top here at 258 back here on, what is this, 10/16? Yeah, October 18th. It was kind of trading around this level. So we'll see what it wants to do. Base level though, that bottom level right here, I'll make that blue. So yeah, that's going to be the line in the sand, which is $2. It's up to the 250 right now at a point where it faded from before. And we'll see what it wants to do on the open. If we zoom in some more to the hour chart, we can see even better all of these levels from the higher time frame. You can see how they reacted to those levels on the lower time frame. All right, and let's jump over here to the 15-minute. So we can see exactly what's going on here, right? It's come up here to 250s multiple times and failed these levels. So the question is, will it be able to rise through those levels without any good catalyst on the morning? All right, the next one is AR. Actually, before I do that, well, yeah, let's go ahead and mark the charts up and then we'll go and look deeper into their floats and all of that. All right, ARQT, what is your news? Arcutis Biopharmaceuticals gets FDA approval for a dermatitis treatment. Okay, so some kind of skin swelling or something treatment. Yeah, scaly skin disorder. I don't know how many people that affects, but let's go and look at the charts on that one. So we can see it's been getting beat down by, let's see, when would this start? Started in 2020, January, traded around this flat area and then started trading down. Came down from the $30, and I don't know if this was due to reverse splits or what, but that's some pretty steep price drops from $30 all the way down here to 244, and now it is trading around the 313. Now with no previous levels to really look at as far as support, we just look at where resistance can be. So this is the 739. Looks like it hit the pause button for some reason around here twice around this level, and we can see more buying before it crashed through that. So 739 definitely up there. Let's go ahead and zoom in some more to the weekly chart, where we can see that action once again. Into the daily chart, where we can actually see a gap here. $3 down here to the 250s, this gap that it's in, and right now it's trading around 316, so right above this gap fill level. So it filled the gap. Does it want to continue down, or does it want to hold the $3? Okay, let's zoom in some more to the 4-hour chart. We can see some type of small gap on the 4-hour here from 272 down here to 260s. Maybe a spot where we see some kind of interest coming there, but it does have a catalyst. It's just fighting a crazy downtrend. So to continue out of this, it's going to have to be really strong. And for those two, let's go ahead and jump back and go get their floats and stuff before I go too far. So ICCT. Good morning, Mike D. ICCT statistics. We're looking at a float of 7.85 million on that one. Okay. Looking for, let's see. Let's go ahead and cross-reference that. ICCT. Same thing over here, about 7 million in the float. It is not optionable, not shortable per FinViz. Same thing over here, 7 million in the float. Short interest as of November 30th. Well, we're a long way away from that, so we need a more updated metric on that short interest. No shelf registrations. Daily, okay, so nothing here on the shortsqueeze.com. All right. So yeah, just a low float on that one. No real news on ICCT. May just be a complete guessing game on that one today. As far as ARQT though, let's go look at that one. ARQT, scaly skin disease is what they're trying to treat. Float, higher float, 69.04 million. Very low insider holding there. A lot of institutions in on that one. Let's see. Tiring Blue Bee says, hello, sorry for bothering you. Oh my gosh. He's from Twitter. I haven't been streaming on Twitter. I just recently, or today, I just started. I mean, not Twitter. He's from Twitch. And I just recently started back streaming on Twitch. I'm streaming on a lot of platforms actually. YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Kick, Twitter, all of those. So, um, but yeah, that y'all are gonna see those ads. I might put a bot just to detect those ads to get them out of here. They get too crazy. But anyway, back to scaly skin disease. Let's jump over here to the profile of this healthcare biotech out of the United States, based out of California. They're focused on developing and commercializing treatments for dermatological diseases. Its lead product is the ARQ-151. It's a cream treatment for plaque psoriasis and atopic dermatitis. Okay, so yeah, a bunch of skin stuff. Let's go and see the profile for ICCT as well. Health Information Services, based out of Florida in the United States. iCore Connect, a cloud-based software technology company, provides health insurance portability and accountability act compliant cloud-based software as a service in the United States. The company's products include iCore RX, a HIPAA-compliant electronics prescription software, iCore PND, all this stuff. Okay, so this is pretty much a compliance company. Come in and make sure that your medical facilities are following the necessary IT rules and regulations or best practices that are in place for them to protect data and all of that stuff. Okay. Next one that I was looking at, I had this steel one up here, but when I saw it was steel and it was up that much, and I actually checked out the dividend on this steel stock, and I just wasn't impressed. It pays 20 cents per year in dividends. I was like, you got to be kidding me. But yeah, it went up a lot, but I wouldn't add it to my dividend portfolio. It's gonna have to do some work or something. Next one I saw was F-Cell, which does not seem like it wants to really get up like these other two. It was up, but then kind of gave up a little bit. Just actually jump out here to the charts. So oil came down here to this. This is the level that I bought at last time during the oil come down, like around the 67s, and it's tested this level again around 67 and popped back up here. Not too interested in taking trades on it now though, because it's already tested there, and I'll be kind of chasing that. The next one is the TQQs. TQQQs looking after a nice little drop off here, coming and breaking that top there. Okay, let's look at the SPY. Now, I do think that there's going to be a little bit of indecision in the market today because the SPY is approaching this previous high right here, 479s today. And so I don't know the actual reaction off of this. So if you see some wonky stuff, it may be because the overall market is hitting what could be a double top. So I'll definitely keep that in mind if you see weird things today. Let's go over to the NQQ. It'll probably be almost the same setup. Let's see. Yeah, same setup there, but it actually already broke. It actually broke this. So the SPY might follow this and start to break this as well. So NQ has already broken that, but the SPY, of course, isn't getting the trading yet, but may just go ahead and blast through that level if the NQ has done it. Let's go look at the QQQ. Same setup, all of them doing the same thing today. A lot of people probably like, let's see what happens. Let's see it. I mean, we've seen one, which is the NQ, go through. Can these lower ones go through as well? And then the SQQ, of course, getting beat to sleep as the other not inverses, but the other names follow the SPY. SQQ continuing to get shattered. We also had this one that was trading on Friday, VRCA. Had a little gap down from this level. We were watching it on Friday, and it just wasn't one that I was kind of super thinking it was going to give me what I wanted. So I kind of just left it alone on Friday. But yeah, we'll see what happens today. Let's see what we got. Reliable Rudy says not the most volume for a 50-cent stock, but AKLI news is pretty interesting. Let's see. World first video game treatment. Oh, let's go jump over there. AKLI. And I'm gonna read the rest of the comments as well. I'm just checking this one out. So 50. Let's jump over here to this. How long has this thing been trading? Let's see. Started trading on in 2022. And yeah, definitely interesting. A video game treatment, which I think could be very possible because with the amount of time that people spend, they spend spend more time playing video games than watching TV. And TV was the ultimate form, or was the ultimate form of programming at first. If you want to trick somebody's mind or make them hungry or make them think a certain way, you do it through TV. But now with video games being the top thing, that's very doable. Make somebody hungry while they're playing the game. They're like on Call of Duty and you flash like a bright red background just really really quick, so they just see it for just a minute and they get hungry, right? Or you can make them feel depressed or whatever else with what they see. It doesn't matter. There's plenty of colors that can make you feel a certain way if you see them quick enough and you really don't get a chance to really stare at them. You just flashing out. But anyway, that is interesting. I'll throw that one on the watch just to keep an eye on that guy. See if it explodes. It's up 24% right now. Okay, next comment. Actually, let's go look at the float and all that stuff. See how dangerous it can be today. ALKI. All right, so this one is out of the United States Health and Information Services. Achille Inc., a digital machine company, develops cognitive treatments through game-changing technologies. The company provides Endeavor RX. Okay, they've been watching some My Hero. Okay. Let's see, a computer-based testing for cognitive dysfunction across several neurology and psychiatric indications, including attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, depressive. Oh, see, they hitting everything that I had right there. They're hitting it all. Yeah. So depression, autism spectrum disorder, multiple sclerosis. That's through visuals, I guess. And other neuroinflammatory diseases. It offers selective stimulus management engine mechanism to activate the frontal parietal cortex area in the brain. Body brain trainer for attention. Okay, impulsivity, working memory. So they're working on some stuff, man. If they get some stuff popping, it may be okay. Let's go look at the float on this thing. AKLI. Float is only 25.86 million. If we look at the insiders in this, we got 18% insiders. Institutions are in this big though. So somebody's sitting in this thing. I don't know. But definitely interesting one. Maybe one to keep on watch. All right, next one. Good morning, Lori Lee. Yeah, man, it's been crazy, man. This hopefully y'all had a great weekend. Um, of course, we're halfway through December, approaching New Year's very quickly. Um, man, I don't know, man. Times are moving. Oi, oi, oi. But yeah, let's jump back over to ICCT real quick. We've already marked the levels. The line in the sand that I was kind of looking at was a $2 level, but it has some levels here to trade. It just does not have the catalyst on the day to kind of push it. It had earnings back on November 20th, which really didn't get that much reaction, a very slow reaction on those earnings. ARQT, of course, we got this one marked up as well. I may go ahead and take X off. I'm not really interested in steel today. Take X off. F Cell is another one that was moving. Only up 10% though. And looks like a much higher float as well. Let me look at that float on F Cell. Float is, oh my goodness, F Cell is off of my list. It is 449 million shares in the float. That's why nobody's touching it. It can do whatever it wants today. It's just going to do it without me. Jump over here to the skins. We got a couple of fallers that are down. FTCH down 31%. Wow, that thing dropped. Man, I remember that thing had blasted up. It was like at what, $20 or something? That's crazy. Yeah, just got killed. Farfetch. SPWR. And really the only thing that I like about fallers is if they're paying dividends still. Like if they fall and they're paying dividends, I am very interested. I'm right there for it. Yes, sir. PNT down 10%, but no dividends. TLT down as well, but it pays a dividend, monthly dividend on TLT. I actually looked at TNT before, and I'm looking for it to actually break down and get a little cheaper. Like I kind of like to scrape off the bottom, if you know what I mean. Just scrape off the bottom. Looking at the monthly chart over here, it did re-enter this previous low level, but I was like, it can get cheaper. You know, it can get. I'll wait. I can add to cheaper stuff and get that dividend while I wait for this thing to drop. But yeah, TLT not looking bad in this little consolidation area, right under $100. I believe their dividend is pretty good if I'm remembering correctly. Let me go look. TLT. I usually check the dividend stuff over here at Nasdaq.com. TLT. It's this one. Let's see your dividend history. So yeah, they paid $3.72 per share annually, which is pretty good. You gotta, if you get 100 shares, you're getting blessed monthly, right? You're getting what is 100 shares times that? What, 31 bucks? 31 bucks per month on 100 shares. But when you look at how expensive it is, you're putting down for 100 shares, you know, times 100 bucks, you're putting down 10K on this trade to make 31 bucks 31 bucks a month. So, I mean, I don't know, man. 31 bucks. Let me see. 31 what would that be, divided by 10,000? That's a very small percentage of what you had to put in. That's why I wanted to come cheaper. It's just, it's too high price for the dividend. It's like, bro, you're gonna have me waiting all day for this little percentage here. And that's worse than a bank, bro. So if it comes down, I'll be interested. But as long as it's where it is, I'm gonna leave it alone. Okay, we have 8 minutes until the bell. And let's see. Good morning, Jimmy and Drifter coming in. Jim. He's having his morning coffee, getting into the mood, you know. Of course, I just roll out of bed and look at the charts real quick and see what's up before the day gets started. See if it's anything I like, really. Okay, ICCT trying to hold up this little 260 level, but we already know it's got a couple levels in here it can test under the 250, and then definitely probably a end game at the $2 breakdown there. ARQT coming back down to the $3 level. Now we seen during the pre-market there was some trading here, but we also seen big selling back to this area. So we saw big selling here, we saw big selling here, and of course during around 7 o'clock is when the majority of that volume comes in. So where is 7 o'clock? 7, that's 6:45. Okay, so this right here is 3 a.m. that's open this morning, where it got a big pop-up push down right to the pop up, push down. So that 3 is probably gonna get some heavy testing, especially with that catalyst that it has. But yeah, let me clean up the scan real quick and just kind of get to the bare minimum. I'm not really watching VRCA anymore. It's not receiving any volume. SQQ, don't really need to see that one. QQQ. I just really want to know the overall sentiment of the market and where it's sitting. And right now, we already know that the market is coming into a double top up here. And it's got to make a decision what it wants to do here. And it's continuing to just hold right here until the open. So we'll see if indecision comes, if it wants to crash back down, or if it wants to hold over this and continue higher. But we also know that most breakouts in the market do fail. So I would think that we'll see some pullback, but maybe I'm wrong on the NQ. TQQ. So we'll just keep the NQ and the SPY up just to watch, and we'll kind of have this little list here: ICCT, ARQT, AKLI, and then we're leaving FCell alone. It's only up 12%, but that float is ridiculous. It's not going to move for us. ICCT. Yeah. Anarchist. Yeah, you can ask any questions you want. I'll get answering them as quickly and as precisely as possible. Ticker ME. All right, first let's jump over here. We got about 4 minutes to the bell. So ME, if we look at the monthly chart, we can see it has had a little bit of pressure. I look in the catalyst and see why it will be popping. What is it? 23andMe. Oh yeah. Reveals hackers access ancestry data. Okay. I remember this one. All right, so let's zoom in. Now, what's your time frame on ME? What are you looking to day trader? Are you looking to swing it? Are you looking to as a long-term hold? And does it pay a dividend? That's the other thing. Let's see. No dividend on it, but it's 95 cents right now. Okay, so ME coming down here. Coming on down here. So it hit a low of 61. My question would be, what does it produce? Let me go and look at what it produces real quick. What does it do? What does it do? Okay, diagnostics and research. Okay, Oyster Point, Boulevard, genetics testing, consumer services, genetic health risk, chances of passing on certain rare carrier conditions to their children. Okay, so they got a couple of things out here. Now, one thing, okay, it's cheap, right? So, I mean, if you're doing a longer term position, since it's not paying out dividends or anything, I mean, how do you want to attack it because it's so cheap? And what do you think? Where do you think it can go? Like what levels? Because we see this right here, this 336 level that they got pushed down into on the monthly right here. So it came down, ran through here, consolidated, popped up here, back here to about the $6 and pushed back here. Where are the gaps? That would be the next thing I would look for on ME. Where are gaps to be filled? So looking on the daily chart, on these the weekly and the monthly, I really don't see any gaps there. But down here on the daily chart, I really don't see any gaps. Okay. All right, because usually on something like this, there'll be some type of gaps that can be attacked, but just not seeing any obvious gaps. So I don't know. Precisely as I can say it, this is not my price range. Usually, when I do longer term investments, everything in my portfolio is over $5. So I can, and it has a little bit more history too, because this one started trading when? This one started trading in 2021. So it's got a couple of years, but every year it's just been going down. So that's a hard one. That's a hard bone to pick right there. Um, I really can't give you any good advice whether to dump into that one or not because based on that news and all of that, I mean, I like things that's gonna pay me. If they're gonna be low, they need to pay me. Um, but hey, maybe you can take a small position size. I don't know. I really don't want to tell you to dump into something like that because for me, I just don't see the value for me. But I'm a greedy dog, so you know, just take what I say as a grain of with a grain of salt or as a grain of salt. We're about to get the open. Watching ICCT first. Let me look. Reliable Rudy. Good morning. Yeah, so yeah, I would actually look for it to shift trend to start making higher lows before I really make a decision on that investment. Because right now that whole trend is just down. And I usually don't even trade trends, but since there's no other obvious things that you can look at there, you just gotta wait till that trend shifts. ICCT right now floating above this level of the 250s. Will it break down and come down here and test these levels that we had marked up from the higher time frames? Also, we can jump over to ARQT, diving through that $3 level very quickly at the open, coming in here to this previous little chop area. And let's also jump over to the SPY. SPY looking like it is trying to test that breakout level, but it hasn't broke out yet. The NQ though got up there to the highs and still hasn't broke either. So it's kind of sideways motion. All right, let's get back to ICCT. Throwing big wicks, big wicks. Up 71% right now. Has a relative volume 23 times the normal. Has a relative standard deviation almost 4 times, 4 deviations outside of normal deviations. Has an ATR of 28 cents. ARQT also trying to hold up this $3 level that we had here. Previous chop area that it's found a nice little bottom and trading around this. So it's got an ATR of 30 cents. It has a relative volume only 3 times the normal volume there. And a relative standard deviation only 2 times out from normal. So this is what I'm looking at on my scans. My ATR, my relative volume, and my relative standard deviations right there. BMRA, I'm seeing that on my top gainer scanner. Let's see what that's doing. What's BMRA? Did they come out with news or something? Buy America received US FDA 50K clearance for their testing for or the detecting of a bacteria that infects approximately 35% of the US population. 35% is quite a bit. So BRMA, I'll slap that one up there real quick. And yeah, we'll narrow down the scanner even more. So we got ICCT, BMRA, ARQT, AKLI is still up there. And then we'll be watching the SPY and the NQ. So we got the top 3 though. ICCT. Let's see if I see any other ones. Nope. Okay. Let's get back over. ICCT. Finding that resistance at the $3 level. BMRA. Let me actually look at the charts. I did not mark this one up because it just popped up. All right. So on the monthly, we see that it has a couple of times that it's been beat down here. Boom, boom, boom. We have some type of what looks like could be resistance around this 450 level. Any other obvious resistance? I don't really see any. But let's look down here. We got something at 355, 268. So a couple of levels of could be resistance. We also have this 160 that is testing on the bottom here. All right, so let's zoom in some to the weekly chart. Any gaps? So it's right here on this 160, looking like it can push through. It doesn't have horrible news on today. It's just a little cheaper. ATR of 13 cents, so definitely a smaller range. Jumping out here on the 4-hour, we can see it's trying to fight this previous sell-off here during pre-market. The top here on the hour chart that is coming into right here, this 175, testing that 175, the bodies of those previous candles. Finding a little bit of resistance. Let's jump back over here to the 15-minute. Trading right around these levels. So, okay. And then on the daily chart, we also have around the 150-ish level down here. Looking interesting for it to try to hold here. Well, looks like it's getting down there quick. Man, I didn't get a chance to put a line in. Come on, bro. All right, let's jump back over to ICCT. Still up here on the struggle bus around $3. ARQT. Yeah, BMRA has 300 times the volume of a normal day. 7 times the standard deviation. So it's just abnormal today. BMR, it's looking like it's going to take the cake. I don't know how you play supports, but I'll definitely play supports on it and see if I can get a bounce. But this thing is a lower price, so the supports may not be as strong as we're used to seeing. So I would just wait for them to break and then reclaim, actually. But that's what I do for cheaper stocks. I do that for even higher price stocks sometimes. Let me read some of these chats. Oh boy, BMRA, man, continuing to hit the wall. Definitely some nice short potential on Monday though. Slowing down around these whole dollar levels. Oh my goodness, ARQT blew up. Hit this little $3 level here and looks like it's going to be getting some love as well. Making its way on up. Can it get more volume though? Big sell-offs here in pre-market, but a break over the 350s is looking like where it wants to go. So we're watching the top 3, you know. They're trying to make themselves the one. ARQT. Pushing right on back down into this level. Under the 325s there. Okay. So we'll see if that becomes resistance, the 325 level. Oh no. Wait, I know I could change the name of this, right? Can I change the name? Oh, you can't do it on these. You had to put in the other one. I saw somebody do it where you can actually change the name on these drawings. Let me see. Create an alert. Sell, blah, blah, blah. If I create an alert, symbol, price, stock, note. None of that is what I want to do. Anyway, it is holding up that 325 level. BMRA getting on down there, man. Thought it was going to be able to do something, but not really holding up that much. Look over here on the 4-hour, we can see a lot of resistance came in at that 175. Okay. ARQT. It looks like it's gonna be between ICCT and ARQT. I don't know which one's gonna take the title though. But I would expect ICCT is gonna get more because it's holding over the pre-market trading levels. So it's got a better signal than the other one, which is ARQT. ARQT is just trying to hold over those levels, but ICCT is actually holding. Hmm. Lot of back and forth motion here. Yeah, ICCT is looking like it's if it can get up to the 325s and start to hold and give a little pullback to the 3, it's gonna look a lot better than most of these because we can hold this level here, 280s, to right at the 290s level and continue higher. It's probably gonna be a grinder on the day. Again, their news catalyst was they have a scaly skin disease treatment. So we'll see how that holds $3. Do people still want that thing above 3? This is only the first 15 minutes of the day. We got 5 minutes left in this candle, and then we'll see the real sentiment of these moves. The real sentiment. I noticed December has definitely been a pharmaceutical month though, for real. And I want to keep that mental note. I probably add it to my notes. Just preparing for next year, how these pharmaceutical companies have just absolutely wore December out. We've just seen everything just boom, 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 popping up 200%, 300%. And you would think most of these would be like going towards cold and flu, but nope. They're like skin treatments and, you know, look at this thing getting up there to the 325. So it's becoming the one. And I was trying to see if this thing was going to hold this $3 level here, or how it's going to hold it. I think that high was 325 though. Let me see. High of 320 there on this candle. Close enough. It got into the zone. BMRA still getting beat down. ARQT still on the struggle bus as well. Three minutes left on this 15-minute candle. I guess the way that I look at these is if it's going like for my strategy, I'm like, okay, I had to like train myself to not think, oh, I missed it. No, I haven't missed it. I'm where I need to be, and I just need to be ready for the right positioning. That's how I had to change my mind. Because at first I was like, oh man, I missed it. And then I would go chasing. But no, I haven't missed anything. This is only the beginning. It's Monday morning. Beginning of the week. I ain't missed nothing. I'm right where I need to be. Safe and sound. On the neutral button, right? The good thing about trading is you never really miss a trade because the market's always going to be there. Opportunity is always going to be there. If you miss one trade, I mean, you really shouldn't think of it as a miss, but maybe just a time that you just were not able to manage the position. So you just didn't take the trade. Because for my trades, I like to manage them. I like to see my account grow. Some folks, they just take the trade and walk away. That does not work for me. I mean, it could work for me. I mean, if I take the trade and I come back and it's like, oh wow, I made money, but I rather manage it, especially with these small caps, because I putting a stop loss in, and then I come back and I would have had more money if I would have taken profit up there if I was managing the trade, but it came back, stopped me out, and I only got 10 cents when I was up like $1 or something. So I like to manage my trades. But yeah, it's coming back down to test the $3 right now. ARQT, BM. Yeah, so somebody's going to have to give up. Somebody's going to lose the faith of the people here, and I don't know which one it's going to be. All right, coming back under 3 now, and this was the zone that we were looking at. Can it go ahead and fall under the 275s? That's going to prove weakness. Wow. Quick under the 275s. Let's see. We have less than a minute. If it closes down here and starts going down, that's going to be a proven of weakness here. So needs to hold up. Can it get back over this level of the really the 3 is where it needs to hold out, but we'll see what it wants to do here on ICCT. It has now opened up the new 15-minute candle. Yeah, showing that weakness, getting back into that zone. Okay, it's got a couple of points down here that it can come back and test. At this point, with the way that it's looking, I do not trust the 250 to hold. It's only 20 cents away. But, you know, under the 250, maybe 230s or something like this down here, it could give a small bounce, but I wouldn't expect the same bounce that you got on the open, right? Because it doesn't have a catalyst for it. BMRA finally showing red on this next 15-minute candle. Very choppy stock. You can see it just going sideways here. And I just try to avoid the chop. Anything that starts showing me this kind of pattern, it needs to make a decision. It's going to be hard to make the decision, especially to the upside, because the high is all the way up here at the 175. The low is way closer. So, you know, if you're short, I mean, and your stop is up here at 175, you're feeling pretty good right now. ARQT holding out now, holding out here. Let's see if it can actually hold this level of the 326. This is what I was we were looking at to see if it can kind of start maintaining higher prices than where it is that it was pushed down from. So looking interesting. This one did have a little bit higher float though. I see another one, CUEN, popped up real quick. CUEN. Let's see what you got going. No news, but you're up. Apparently, I looked at this before at some point because the price levels are still here. And again, it's coming back up to $2, finding resistance, and you know, with no news. So that's a hard one to play. Only 2 million shares traded there. CCT again. I just do not think this 250 is going to be a good level. Reliable says BMRA gap at 166 also tests the first flat top. So let me go over to BMRA. So yeah, 165 top, or BMRA gap at 166 also tests the flat top of 175. Only to be careful with. Over $1.66 gap could have something there. It could, but it doesn't have any wait, or did this one? This one did have catalyst. Never mind. It got clearance for the detection of the bacteria that affects the 35% of population. Okay, so it did have catalyst. I forgot which one didn't have catalyst. I think one of these. Okay, so BMRA coming down into these 140s. Yep, that's definitely not something that I'll be looking for. Even though this is some support, I mean, I just don't trust it to actually hold this support with this being this price level and how the sentiment that they got on the first candle. Okay. ARQT though continued to grind higher, holding right above that 325 level. $325s. Okay, let's also look at the SPY. So we look over here at the SPY, we can see that it's finding a little bit of resistance as well. It did not get all the way up there and test the high just yet. Let's look at the NQ as well. Did it come back down? Nope, NQ is still holding above that level, but if we look on the lower time frames, we can see a little bit of resistance right there at those 880s. Little bit of resistance. So I'm pretty sure at least somebody's going short there, thinking this thing could be a double top. But you know, they got their high end of the 880s and letting this thing play down. So we'll see if it actually gets the push down back to the 8700s, 8750s. But yeah, interesting moves all around. This does kind of look like it's finding a little resistance. Maybe it'll pop on through there, but it'll be interesting to see it throughout the day. All right, jump back over. ICCT getting on down, running out of buyers, thinning out buyers. BMRA. Yeah, a lot of running in the resistance today across the board. Okay, ARQT continues to find some type of war zone around this 325 level. Of 34%. Interesting. Okay. Reliable says looking at ARQT, it filled the gap at 3 and it's holding above the gap nicely. Yeah, that's what I keep seeing it do that. If it closes up here, I mean, it may look pretty good. Continues to just bounce off that 325 though. Let's see if it can do it again. Back up 326. Can we see it on tape? 326. Yeah, somebody's buying that, bro. Let's see if it pops back over 326. Uh, oh, 320. Okay, it's finding a little bit of more sell off there. Okay. See how it closes though. Can it hold out of the body of this previous candle, which is right at the 325s there? Can it get back up there? What's this? There's another stock that's up, IVVD. IVVD. Right here. IVVD announced initial results of ongoing canopy Oh, I said Canopy. I'm so stupid. Okay, Canopy phase 3 trial of VYD222, a broadly neutralizing what is it? A half-life extended monoclonal antibody candidate for the prevention of symptomatic COVID-19. Okay, so more COVID catalysts. Okay, IVVD. Let's actually look at the daily chart for this. IVVD. Yeah, daily chart has been getting capsized out here. Nice on the weekly though. Big old gap from 2 up to 3. I don't know how relevant that this medicine or treatment that they have is going to be with so many COVID-19 things already out. I mean, what can it really do differently, right? But maybe they found something that it does. But right now it is lower volume. Just now getting to about 2 million shares traded. It does look like it has a higher float. Let me pop out here and see what this float's looking like. IVVD. Let's see. What's your float? Float is looking like 46.18 million. IVVD. Shelf registration back in 2022. Short interest, IVVD. Short percent float, 5.84. It's a 2% increase in short percent. Okay, and let's see. Shares float, yeah, about 40 million. So yeah, across the board, 40 million in the float. Okay. Well, that's another drug, another pharmaceutical coming on up coming on up the scale. Actually, it's the most up. Actually, it's up 92%. 22 cents in the ATR. Relative volume up 23 times the norm. Relative standard deviation is 6.84 right now, headed on up there. So yeah, it's taking the lead. So I guess the lead was coming up. We just had to give it time, right? First 30 minutes of the market for people to kind of go down there and see it and get it popping. Okay. So let's look. We got CUEN also going for breaks. BMRA. I think I'm going to take this one off. It has broken this low and just losing the overall battle on the day. Yeah, not enough people cared about BMRA today. Maybe it'll be something that moves later. So maybe something that I need to keep on watch there. But I'll check it out tomorrow and see if it's under $1. Everything else though, IVVD, ICCT does not have a catalyst. I think that's going to be a fader. QN did not have catalysts on the day. ARQT did not hold up at 325, went down there and touched the bottom. So yeah, kind of cleaned up the list. IVVD and ARQT are the ones that I'm like, well, maybe they'll do something. Maybe, but IVVD just going straight up in the air right now. It had a earnings report back on November 9th. And let's see what it's got going. Let's see, just COVID-19, a bunch of COVID-19 stuff. Okay. All right. Well, anyway, of course, you guys know that I did not see anything that I want to touch because I would have told y'all, hey, this thing's meeting my criteria. But no, I didn't see anything. So if you're going to continue trading today, definitely keep your head on a swivel. I'm about to get to that Monday meeting. I'll continue to watch throughout the day to see if these things just go crazy or whatnot. But, beginning of the week, just waiting. just swinging in the wind right now. Um, y'all have a great week. I'm going to try to, just take my time this week. We're coming into the end of December, so things are going to be slowing down, people going on vacation and things, but I do know people will still be trading, and not just people, but bots will be activated. So yeah, I'll just be chilling in the market, waiting for some money to come to my way, right? Anyway, as always, I will see you guys in the next one. And wait, before I go, Reliable Rudy said, boom, boom, boom. Let me make sure I read all his stuff. Looking at ART. Yep. Okay, cool. So Reliable jumped into ARQT. We'll see how that goes. I'll be back on Wednesday. Of course, I stream on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Stream to YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, all that. And I'm HH Trader everywhere. So just type in HH Trader, you'll see me. But anyway, that is it for today. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.